showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I'm your host, Tommy. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Welp, you guys, the writing is on the wall. Matt Araiza's locker has been cleared. His nameplate is gone. Also, his jersey has been taken off the Buffalo Bills website and the NFL Buffalo Bills website as well. This Ashley Petty reported that about an hour ago. Brandon, well, I don't know about Brandon Beane, but Sean McDermott's press conference was scheduled initially for 3 o'clock. It has been pushed to 4:30. It is now 7:33, and reporters are still waiting to ask Sean McDermott questions at the podium, at the press conference. He is yet to arrive. Very interesting. The only thing I can think of is they are doing everything right now with the lawyers or the NFLPA to have everything set up for questions by the reporters, just making sure, I guess, everything's okay. There's also been reports that they've been talking to free agent punters around the league to come in for tryouts. So that is interesting. Listen, I did a video yesterday on the Matt Araiza situation. I told you guys how I felt. And listen, here's the deal, man. This was just, even if it winds up being that Matt Araiza is innocent, right? Which, to be honest with you guys, right now, it's not looking good for him. But even if, it's still just a huge distraction. This thing could go on a while. The criminal investigation is still going on. And if you saw the press conference yesterday of Sean McDermott and Matt Barkley and Case Keenum, clearly this was a distraction. Derek coming in. They are moving everyone into the field house right now. Okay. Good. So I'm going to try to tap in to the press conference while we're on here, so you guys can watch that live with me while we're waiting. I'm going to try my best. I don't know if I can or not, but it's worth a try. Appreciate that, Derek. So if you guys watched the press conference yesterday, because I went on live right after the preseason game against the Panthers. I didn't get to watch that live, the Sean McDermott press conference. And wow, when I watched that after, he just looked, that was the worst I've ever seen Sean McDermott look. Like, I mean, we're talking about games like that we lost against Kansas City in the playoffs. I didn't see Sean McDermott that like down and out and like beaten up. Like, that was crazy to me, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that press conference, but I've never seen the coach look so depressed, so tired, so lost for words. And I kind of wonder if he's upset not only at himself, but at Brandon Beane and company for not doing their homework properly on Matt Araiza before they drafted him. Because rumors have it that the other NFL teams, some that weren't even going to draft him, I guess still looked into, they were just looking at the players, knew about these allegations back in the draft. Yeah, not good. So why did the Buffalo Bills not know about this before they drafted him? It's crazy. It's clear they are moving on while everyone continues to talk about the spectacles like you are, bro. No, listen, Jim. Whoa, hey, I'm. This is what I do, bro. I'm a content creator. I come on and give you guys the news. I'm the one that just came out and said his locker room's been cleared. I got to talk about it. That's what I do, bro. Like, I'm sorry you don't like my content or whatever. I've been moved on, but people want to know about it and they want to hear my point of view. If you don't, I totally understand. There are way other podcasts out there for you to watch. You don't have to watch mine. I'm just here to give you my opinions. But if you moved on, that's great. If you're sick of hearing about the Araiza stuff, cool. This will probably be my last time talking about it as well. But I have to tell you, I have to come on here and tell you what the latest update is. So sorry that you feel that way, but you can go to the Happy Buffalo Bills podcast channels out there that only want to talk about the great stuff that's happening in Buffalo. Or you could stay on this podcast and hear the real deal because I'm going to give it to you straight. Just saying. Sorry. Man, like, yo. Hey, Jim. I do appreciate you coming on. I'm just being honest here. That's it. I'm just giving you an update. That's all. Like, listen, when we lost, like, to the Chiefs, where you're like, oh, I'm not going to watch. I don't want to hear anything about it. Or when, good news, bad news. Like, what is it? Only good news that you want to hear about? Like, I got to give you both. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, listen, dude, I'm a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. Been since '89. That doesn't mean that I can't talk about the bad things that have happened, in Buffalo. And this is a black eye, right? As of now, and the Buffalo Bills seem like they're going to do the right thing by releasing Matt Araiza. That's all I'm saying. I'm just here to report it. So I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you, but I'm just letting you know that I'm here to give you the facts of what happened. That's all. So take it for how you want it. And I have no idea who changed my my chat to red and blue, but it's awful. There's no moving on from 17-year-old going to be raped. There's a pretty serious allegations that everyone involved should do their best to get to the bottom of. Yes. Oh, listen. The criminal side of this is not closed yet. More than likely, there's going to be an arrest made, like multiple. More than likely, Matt Araiza is going to be arrested. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Sean McDermott understands that. I think Brandon Beane understands that. I think San Diego State University understands that. By the way, guys, real quick, I'm not a San Diego State fan. I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan. And we've had our share of athletes who have done pretty terrible things. Okay. Kellen Winslow, for instance. But why didn't San Diego State address this when it happened? When everyone knew in the college what had happened to this girl. San Diego State is the initial people that swept this under the rug. So let's not start with the Buffalo Bills here. Then the police had this report in October of 2021. They also dropped the ball because, guys, we are almost in September of 2022, and it is just now getting out. Why? Because a civil case just came out, and they did an article a month ago about this. So it's not all the Buffalo Bills. Oh, my God. Listen, the one thing we could say is they didn't do their homework when they drafted him initially, because I do believe other teams knew about him. That's why he was drafted third overall punter, which he should have been first. That's one. Two, when they finally did find out a month ago in July, they still cut Matt Hawk, which, listen, I was all for cutting Matt Hawk before I knew about this. But they still cut Matt Hawk, fully knowing the allegations. And now when more comes out and Bills Mafia is like pissed, man. Listen, guys, I would say 90% of Bills Mafia on Twitter were like right away cut him. Right away. I mean, I've never seen, usually, I'll be honest with you, usually when a player gets in trouble on a team, home fans are usually somewhere around 50-50, I would say. But this was such a terrible crime that was committed, that Bills Mafia just wasn't happening. And it's funny, by the way, I see a lot of people like, listen, Twitter is so toxic, guys. But I see a lot of Brown fans chiming in with us now on Twitter, saying, "Oh, what's going on now? You guys talk about Cleveland. You guys talk about the Browns. Now look at the Bills. Now look at you guys. What do you guys got to say about it now?" Honestly, listen, kind of two different things. Like Deshaun Watson, they knew about a year ago, right? I just think the Buffalo Bills dropped the ball. They didn't know about it. They drafted him. What makes, I think, Bills Mafia a little bit upset is when they finally did know about it, they still kept him on the roster. Maybe when they should have done a little bit more investigating at that point and maybe even cut him or put him on some kind of exempt list, something. I don't know how that works with a team thing, but I just think, listen, he's a punter. And when you're a punter, I hate to say it, he's replaceable, guys. He had talent, no doubt, but he's a punter. At the end of the day, there's plenty of punters out there, and I think it was a mistake for them to wait so long. Hey, my buddy, Mr. Mikey in the building. Mikey, I don't know who changed this red to blue on our on our live stream here, but it's awful. I got to change that back. Let's see here. Oh, Jim's still in the building. Good point was brought up. Previous issues with legal issues. Yeah, listen, Jim, I'm sorry for jumping on you earlier. I don't know if you're, whatever, but I apologize for that. Whoever does background checks on draft picks drop the ball. 100% drop the ball. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Because apparently other teams knew. Now that's just rumors out there right now. That other teams knew, but it is what it is, man. Listen, I think Brandon Beane shouldn't leave Sean McDermott out to dry on this. We're still waiting on the press conference, apparently. Still no press conference. You got these reporters waiting. I mean, I've been looking on my phone still. They're still waiting in the back room. So if anyone knows anything, let me know. But they're still waiting on the press conference. I really hope, honestly, that Brandon Beane comes out with Sean McDermott at this press conference. I really do. Because yesterday's press conference with Sean McDermott, and I understand it was a post game, and maybe Brandon Beane wasn't there. But I kind of felt bad for Sean McDermott. I did. Even though Sean McDermott is partially responsible, the GM, Brandon Beane, who I love, is also responsible, and he should be out there answering questions with the media. I think Sean McDermott was just, I kind of felt like they just told him what to say when he was out there. I think he wanted to say more, I'll be honest with you guys, and I just think he couldn't because Brandon Beane probably told him, listen, we'll handle this. We'll address this tomorrow. And just, stick to the basic answers. And you could kind of tell Sean McDermott wanted to say more, but he couldn't. He just couldn't. And I forget who was asking the questions, but he was drilling them with the questions. I don't remember, guys, but man, he asked them over and over and over questions. And Sean McDermott kept giving the same answer. What did he say? We're trying to get better. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get better. Whatever that means. I have no idea. What does that mean? We're trying to get better. Like meaning like looking into these players better before drafting them or looking. I don't understand what that means. We're trying to get better. Better in what? Better in backgrounds? Like, come on, man. Like, we pride ourselves in Buffalo, this team, to getting the right guys in the locker room, right? And boy, they dropped the ball, mega big time, right? And it's sad, man. And then you got the players like coming out. And I said this to Mikey yesterday. I did, Mikey, and you remember me talking to you. And Mikey, you can hop on if you want. I don't know what you're doing. You know you can always hop on. I said this to Mikey about the distraction, this being a distraction. And yes, he said we need to do better, whatever the hell that means. Better in what? Better in background checks? I have no idea what that meant. Like, I think that was just one of those answers he's just going to continue to say. We need to do better. We need to do better. We need to do better. That means nothing. That's not a he said that the whole press conference, and I understand because he couldn't give much information. I think, you know what I'm saying. Like, I think Brandon Beane pretty much told him, listen, we're going to handle this tomorrow. And from what it looks like, Matt Ariza's lockers have been cleaned out. His jersey's been taken off. It pretty much the writing's on the wall. And I think Bill's Mafia will forgive and they'll forget, right? Okay, I understand. But this does kind of leave a little bit of a black eye, I think. And I gotta say, thank God, you guys, this did not happen a couple days before week one, before the game, before Thursday Night Football, right? I'm just saying it's still bad timing, but at least we have a week and a half, couple weeks to go out and get a punter, right? What if this happened, like I said, a day before the game time, whatever, story breaks? Can you imagine? Oh my God, they would have had a field day. They would have had an absolute field day. And it would have been bad. Opening day, we're talking about Matt Araiza. You guys, did you watch the game yesterday locally? Buffalo? I don't know where you guys live in the chat. Oh man, dude, the whole 30 minutes prior to the game before kickoff, I swear, was all Matt Araiza talk. All Matt Araiza talk. It wasn't about who's competing for a spot. It wasn't about, anything. It wasn't about our rookies, Kaiir Elam. It wasn't about anybody. It was all about the punter, man. And that's what I mean about distractions. That's a distraction, right? And you could tell in the players, man, when they did their interviews after, Barkley and Keenum, they were spent, man. The fact that when Mookie Hawkins asked Sean McDermott about the locker room, like what this did to the locker room, you could tell he was just like, what do you want me to say? Like, it's bad. Like, the locker room's not like, of course, man, these guys, these players have wives and mothers, and daughters. Like, and you got this guy in the locker room who's listen, he's not guilty yet by, but he's accused of something terrible and it's not looking good. And you got this guy in the locker room next to you or whatever. Players are going to talk and players aren't going to be happy that this guy's still around. He's, so that was a bad decision to even bring him to Carolina. Why even bring him there and wait till the last minute, then say he's not going to suit up for the game? I don't understand, I don't get it. I'm looking to see when this press conference is, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think I'll be able to tune in with this with you guys. I was going to try to patch it in, but let me get to some of your guys' questions here. Will this haunt Bean? We put him. No, it's not. It's not going to haunt Bean. Listen, guys, this thing. It's a black eye right now. It is. But I think now they haven't officially said it yet, but they're going to cut him. When they officially cut him on this press conference, I'm guessing that's what the holdup is. At least that's something. That's a start. I think if they were to kept him on the roster or like put him on some kind of exempt list or something, yeah, that wouldn't have been good. I think this is a start, but I think they need to own up, um, and admit they made a mistake. And I don't think it's going to haunt them at all. I don't. You know, one thing about football fans, in general, we're very forgivable. Like we forgive a lot. We forgive pretty easy, right? Happens a lot. So no, I don't think this is going to be a long like stain on Brandon Beane or Sean McDermott at all. Scott, yeah, so they cleared out Araiza's locker, took his nameplate off his locker room, and they also took his jersey off the Buffalo Bills website. So it looks like the writing on the wall as far as Matt Araiza being a Buffalo Bill. It looks like he's gone. And, you know, let him deal with whatever he has to deal with. But he won't be back on this team, even if he's found not guilty or the you know, they don't press charges or something. He would have to have unbelievable evidence that she was totally wrong. She mistaken identity, something like that, which I don't see happening. And then even then, I don't know if an NFL team would touch it. He's a punter. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't a Michael Vick situation, right? Which I was like, hey, on the Michael Vick situation, because I'm such an animal person, I still don't like the guy, right? Like that hit home for me. I didn't care what he did. I don't care if he served jail time or he was donating to animal shelters. Like there's certain things for me that is unforgivable. Okay. And that was unforgivable. Right. So with this, yeah, geez, man, he would have to be just so scot-free, meaning like she comes out and it says, somebody else look like him, I guess. And then, you know, I guess then people will say sorry for dogging on you so much, but I highly doubt it, guys. Highly doubt it. Brett, look, it sucks. Mistakes were made. This should have been told right away or explained in depth to stay away from him. At the end of the day, he's a punter, and actions of true. Yeah, 100%. Listen, exactly my point, Brett. That's what I was saying in the beginning. End of the day, he's a punter. Listen, let's be real, guys. Like, let's be really real here. If this was Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Von Miller, Ed Oliver, Gregory Rousseau, like whatever, a primetime guy, Trey White, whatever, which it wouldn't be, but let's say it did. Let's say it was. I think they would hold off a little bit longer. I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest with you. Shitty thing. It is really crappy, by the way. It's a crappy thing, but that's how it works in sports. We're going to all be real here. And if you really want to be real, Brandon Beane did try to trade for Antonio Brown at one point. He's, you know, pretty bad character guy. So I'm just saying. So the whole, you know, we only want great guys in the locker room sometimes isn't always the case with talent, like, right? Yeah, Bojo. Listen, I didn't mind Bojo as a punter, but he couldn't hold for shit, Thomas. He was terrible at holding. Laces out, ball, he dropped the ball sometimes. The ball was that's not his game. And that's probably why he's still a free agent. That's probably I don't want him. Listen, there's plenty of punters. I'm sure they'll get somebody here. And to be honest with you guys, our offense is stacked. Like, do we really need a punter that's unbelievable, the best punter in the league? I mean, maybe for the Jaguars, right, that you're expecting to punt a lot, right? Or just a bad overall team, the Bears or something. I don't know. No, Hawk is signed by the Colts, I believe. I think now there is an ex-punter that used to punt for the Packers. I don't remember his name, but he came out, did a video, said, hey, Bills Mafia, you know, I still can boom these kicks, and he punted some kick. I don't remember his name, but if you guys remember him, but he said he'd be willing to try out for the Buffalo Bills. So per sources, like I said, though, the Buffalo Bills are already calling around for punters. So we're going to get somebody. They have to. We play in a week and a half. So they have to bring somebody in. Yes. Thank you, Sean. Hey, I got to tell you, he kicked the shit out of this ball with no shoes on. And that thing looked like it went 50 yards with no cleat on. So, sure, why not? You know what I mean? He's a vet. I bring him in for a tryout. At this point, bring whoever. But do me a favor, do a background check on whoever you bring in. Like, just make sure this dude ain't like running like I don't know, like an illegal, massage parlor down the street or something. You know what I mean? Like, get a good punter in here, but make sure he's not doing some shady shit like Matt Araiza. And speaking of Matt Araiza real quick, what an idiot, by the way. What are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, listen, guys, and I'm going to get off here because Jason has to do a baseball podcast at 8:30. At the end of the day, bro, there's been a lot of sick people in the NFL that's done crazy. This isn't the first, won't be the last, right? And I was talking to my buddy the other day about, like, listen, Kellen Winslow. I don't know if you guys remember him. I believe he played for the Browns and he played for my Hurricanes. Listen, guy was a very good tight end in college. It wasn't like he was an ugly guy. And he was out there raping old women. I'm talking old, man. 60, 70, 80. Like, that's something mental, man. So my point is, you never know sometimes a person, like, who they are, what secrets they have or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. He wasn't 18, Jose. He was actually 21 when this happened. So he wasn't that young. Was he dumb? Sure. Was he a college kid and drinking and being stupid like a lot of college kids do? Sure. Listen, I was young and dumb. I did some dumb things. Never did that. And listen, I'm not even mad about the age. Like, if she lied, let's just backtrack. Let's just say hypothetically there was no rape involved and she lied about her age and that's what he got arrested for, 21, 18, whatever. Like, it's still a terrible thing. I'd be like, hey, man, you got to know better. But that, listen, girls lie. That happens. She's at a college party. But my God, gang rape? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. Are you telling me Matt Araiza, star punter on your college football team, you guys can't get girls? Or any college football player there? I don't get it. Like, you have to do that? So I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand, like, where these people's heads are at, man. Like, honestly, it's a crazy world we live in. But once again, I told you. Oh, and Thomas, 17, 18. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying in general, he would have been in trouble in general in the state of California, even if it was consensual. I'm just saying, college kids sometimes are dumb. They do stupid shit like underage drinking, right? I was underage drinking, right? That's illegal. Just saying, like, I'm just saying, college kids, underage kids, sometimes we do dumb things. That's not a dumb thing what he did. That's sick, and he needs help and he needs prison. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Yes, I did. I read the whole report. Now it's the report, and like once again, like I said, it's just, there's a lot to it, and it's just so odd. I think the police. This is what I think would happen at the end of the day. Okay, in my honest opinion with you guys, I think San Diego State, because they were doing good that year, college football, and you guys know how it is. with the police and campus police or whatever. I think the police worked with San Diego State on this. And I think they didn't want to interrupt their college season that they were having. And they didn't want a black eye on their college at that time. And now it's out. It's over with. Confirmed gone? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it boils down to. Let's be honest with you. The police worked with the college here on this. The college took their time. They were probably just sweeping it under the rug, hoping it would go away. And this girl wasn't going to let it go at the end of the day. And she filed a civil suit to get the criminal part going. It's from what I heard from a lawyer yesterday in an interview. So just because she's filed the civil doesn't mean the criminal's not still open, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. All that did was rush the criminal side of things, because now the DA in San Diego is going to really feel the pressure, and they're going to probably pursue this now. So, I mean, I know they're going to pursue it. So I would expect, honestly, guys, an arrest to be made, in my honest opinion. Definitely look for that. Definitely look for an arrest to be made. And I would expect all three guys to be arrested, because there's just right now there's a lot of evidence stacking up to that, and I don't know what kind of evidence he has to clear his name, but he hasn't provided anything up to this point to prove that he's innocent. He said it. And by the way, did you guys catch that too? When they asked McDermott about his tweet, or his manager's tweet during the game, that he wanted everybody to know that he'll be telling the truth soon and declaring his innocence and whatever. You could tell Sean McDermott was pissed about that. He didn't know. He found out later. You could just tell he wasn't happy about that. So, like, it's not good. But let me see here. Let me see. I'm sorry if I'm missing you guys coming in, man. Jose, the Bruisers. Yeah, the Bruisers were terrible, man. And by the way, maybe Raiders going to take him, taking it. Yeah, Raiders do. Yeah, they listen. She went the very following day. She went the very following day to the police station, right? So the whole lawyer thing, saying it's a money grab thing, I don't know if I believe that, guys, because she went the very next day. She got the rape kit done that day, right? That when she went into the police station, she did everything right, as a victim would, right? And the police just didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. I just, like I said, though, the part that is a little frustrating as Bills fans is how the hell did Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, or the Buffalo Bills organization, not have a report about this? How did how does San Diego not provide the incident that happened on campus? Are you telling me there's no college incident form? Like, there's nothing that happened? Like that the Buffalo, but you telling me the Buffalo Bills didn't ask if Matt Araiza was ever in trouble in college? I highly doubt it. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they looked at it. They looked at his grades. They looked at if he's been arrested for anything, correct? I'm sure they looked to see if he had any issues on camp. So either the Bills didn't ask that, or the college didn't tell them. It's one or the other. I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy, guys. But I'm sorry, guys. I did want to get the Facebook press conference, but apparently let me see here. I'm looking to see. Nah, it's still not up. But Brandon Beane officially announced that the team has released Matt Araiza, which that's why I came on here and told you. Listen, it was reported an hour ago that his locker room was cleaned out. His jersey was off the website. I mean, I guess, I'm glad that Brandon Beane addressed it and said he's released, but we kind of knew that, right? So, guys, that's all I want to do. Normally, I don't come on here on a Saturday. Today's my day off of podcasting for now until the season starts. So I just wanted to come on here real quick, give you guys the update. Matt Araiza has been officially released now. And listen, that's a step in the right direction for the Buffalo Bills on this issue. And I hope it never happens again. Will it happen again? Could it happen again? It's possible. It is. You never know, guys. I don't know. I don't know the guy across the street that lives from me what he does. I'm just saying. But I also don't have. I'm also not a $1 billion homeowner or whatever, and checking up on my, neighbors. Buffalo Bills have mad money. They have people that do this for a living, that do background checks, that go around and ask. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I appreciate all y'all. Let me actually, let's see if I get to some of the questions. You're welcome. Oh, look who's here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. It's Mikey.
What up, brother? Can you hear me all right?
I can. How you
All
doing?
right. I'm okay. Can't complain.
Mikey no, Jose, stay on. Mikey's here. So Mikey, it is official. The Buffalo Bills have released Matt Araiza. I came on here initially, Mikey, about, what have I been on? 30 minutes? Or now 35. So initially I came on here because I thought they were going to do a press conference, and they still haven't done it. Not that I've seen. But I came on here because I knew the writing was on the wall. We kind of knew yesterday. But when it was announced that an hour ago that his locker room was cleaned out, nameplate off, jersey off the website, that was enough said, correct? I mean, you kind of knew from there, right?
Yeah.
And like you said yesterday, and we kind of both addressed it, he was pretty much going to be cut. And by the way, I did want to ask you real quick now that you're on here, and I'm glad you're on, the press conferences. Did you see them? Did you see how distraught everybody was?
No, I haven't. I have been in a fantasy football draft all day. I just got home. I tried to call you. You didn't answer. So I went to see if you were live.
You have to watch them. You have to, because anyone in the chat, by the way, watched them. And by the way, Mikey, can you change the stupid red and blue here that we got going on? I can barely read it to red and white. Just change the blue to white. So, bro, Mikey, you got to watch them. Okay. I was saying earlier in this chat when we went in the stream when I first started, this was the worst I've ever seen Sean McDermott look and sound, even after the Kansas City loss last season.
Really?
Bro, yes. I've never seen Sean McDermott so lost for words, distraught, just, bro.
Is that better?
That's fine for now. We'll change it to red later. But, bro, I'm telling you. Then they interviewed Case Keenum and Matt Barkley. They both looked spent. Bro, remember when we talked earlier and I told you about the locker room distraction? It was 100%. Now, Mookie Hawkins even asked him about the locker room, and he couldn't even bring it up. He was just like, I don't know what to tell. It's this is terrible. Like this it's not good. Like it put a stain on the, like it's bad. So what's your thoughts on it? Go ahead and give it to us, Mikey.
Honestly, I don't know. I have not been about it. I haven't watched anything on it. Doesn't surprise me. We talked about it last night. Especially after the game, seeing how Sean McDermott looked, I knew he was gonna get released. Like he was gutted. You felt it like in the way he looked, in his eyes, in his heart. Like he was gutted.
Yeah, bro. I'm not getting anything on the chat, by the way, on the letters. Can you change them again for some odd reason? When I pull them up, nothing's coming up. Okay. You see? Sorry, guys. A little technical difficulty here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I don't know what to tell you there, guys. It's just disappointing overall. Mikey, it goes back to what we were talking about too, and you were saying how do they not catch this during the pre-draft, right?
Right.
And there's a lot of rumors out there that a lot of teams were aware of this. And then I also gotta ask you, when because obviously I'm not doing the whole pre-draft where you go and talk to the player, you talk to their coaches, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't they ask the university, like, his grades? Has he been in any trouble on campus? Wouldn't that have come up at some point? And wouldn't the campus have a report on the incident? Because they should have had the report, correct?
Yeah. Try to pull up the chat now.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right, that's fine for now. That's cool for now. Yeah, I don't care. That's good. Bill's all about coaching, no doubt. We're getting ready. No, he's gone. Donnie, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's been officially. It just came through on my phone.
Somebody within the organization dropped the ball on the research of this kid.
Yeah, 100%. Because how do other teams supposedly? Now we don't know if that's for a fact, guys. But I'm just saying, and I have a feeling it is a fact. I'm going to be honest with you, Mikey.
Think about it.
I have a feeling.
The draft experts who go and find all this stuff didn't know anything about it either. Like none of the analysts knew or any of that, and they're always all over that stuff. And none of them knew it.
But that's maybe because the college was low key about it. But that doesn't mean there was an incident report. That doesn't mean that the police had a report, because they did. Clearly, they did. Yeah. It's happened in October. So why didn't they not pull that up or find that information? Is weird to me. It really is weird to me. And then I also, what I didn't like about yesterday too, and I understand that maybe because Brandon Beane maybe not in Carolina, but Sean McDermott left out the dry. I hope to God, Mikey, on this conference coming up today, if it's going to happen, because it was supposed to happen at 3, we're already at 8:13. I hope Brandon Beane comes out with Sean McDermott on this.
Yeah, me too.
Right? You can't leave your coach out to dry like that. You're responsible as well. Like you're big time responsible too. Yeah, we wasted a 6th round pick. But 6th round pick. Listen, we also got a 5th round pick back for Cody Ford, so just take it for
and if you remember, we also released a 6th round pick in their Beane's first draft in Pearl. So it's not 6th round picks are lottery tickets.
Yeah.
The kid had immense amount of talent, and it sucks that this happened to him. Whether he was guilty or innocent, I don't know. However, for a team that's built on culture and family, this was the right move. And I'll tell you, I think they should have cut him right away, but I understand why they didn't cut him right away, because they wanted to get more information. They don't make snap judgments like that. I can respect what they've done and how they've handled it. I think they should have gotten more information a month ago when they were notified about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think they should have put him on some kind of leave at that point a month ago. Like why cut Matt Hawk at that point? Like those are questions that are just really weird right now. Like that I think Brandon Beane needs to answer. And they were actually trying to ask those questions last night in McDermott, and that's why McDermott kept just working around it, because I think he has to wait, and I think they had to wait. They wanted to cut Matt Araiza first, get him out of the building, get all that situated first on the legal side of things, because I know they have to go through the NFLPA, all that crap. Yep. Once they got that situated, this is probably why this presser hasn't happened yet. I think they're getting their act together, and they're knowing that they're going to have to answer questions now. They can't just beat around the bush, right?
But they're also probably talking with their legal team to find out what they can and can't say, because you have to remember it's an ongoing investigation.
Yes,
they
and
can't
the NFLPA
even talk about what they have found.
Right, correct. And the NFLPA will still, which is their job, they still have to back Matt Araiza on this, by the way. So, that's exactly, you're exactly right. They're probably just finding out what can be said, what can't be said. But they're still going to have to answer some questions like, did you, why didn't you, do better homework, or even if you missed it, why a month ago did you not at least place them on some kind of leave?
Well, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Why didn't you come out and say something? Or why would he be able to win a battle knowing that this could possibly be, Why not keep your other kicker, your punter? Any of those
You
things.
want to read that from Beth real quick?
It's a crap situation as the club to be in, yes. We want the athleticism and talent, but culture is so much more important. Wise move. Yeah, Beth, spot on. That is the Buffalo Bills, thought process here is the kid is uber talented. We take chance on guys like that, the lottery tickets. However, culture is more important than that one position. And I don't care who it is. Outside of Josh Allen, something happened. I think we cut bait for stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I thought the presser was happening. It looked like it was, and it just ended on my end, which is weird.
I wonder if they canceled it because they're still working with the legal team.
Yeah, it was up for a second, guys. If you guys see it up, let me know. I'll pop it up on the screen, man. It's on Facebook. Yeah, I went on there. I don't see it now. Let me see here if I can get it for you guys again. Hold on. Give me a minute, Mikey.
Yeah, no
go
problem.
ahead. Go ahead and talk to see if there's any other. Oh, here we go. I got it now. Okay.
Yes, Rick. Call Brian Mormon.
All right, guys. I'm gonna put this on here.
Yeah.
There we go, guys. Just for you.
Bean was there.
I would say
the
last
good move.
48 hours has been very difficult for a lot of people. It's been tough, and we sympathize with this whole situation, all the parties involved, this young woman, what she went through. You really feel bad for that whole situation, and ultimately this is a legal situation. We don't know all the facts, and that's what makes it hard. But at this time, we just think it's the best move for everyone to move on from Matt and let him take care of this situation and focus, on that. And so we're going to part ways there. I know it's a question of when did we hear this, or what was the timeline? Late July, from her representative, spoke to Catherine and laid out some of the things that they were accusing Matt and others of. And at that time, our process, we tried to be thorough and thoughtful and not rush to judgment. And I would say it's not easy. You're trying to put facts around a legal situation, sometimes with limited information. And so, ultimately that's where we're at today with the decision. I hope you understand. I know you've got a lot of questions for me and or Sean, but with it being a legal situation, I hope you respect that there's certain things that we won't be able to discuss.
Why did you feel at this time was the appropriate time to move on from Matt?
Just ultimately, we thought it was best for everybody, just for Matt to be able to. It's a very serious situation, Heather, and with the serious nature of allegations, and we just can't. We don't have the means to put all the facts together, and there's multiple versions of what happened, and he's a football coach, I'm a GM. Like we don't have access to everything, and so that's more important than playing football. And so we want Matt to focus on that.
The accuser's attorney said that you guys never asked for a statement from his client. Is that true?
Catherine spoke to him and got some of these things. I think it sounded like he expected her to return a call after that. Her understanding was she heard what he had to say, and that's when we began our process.
Your process included after that?
Doing the best we could with our resources, talking to the league, using our people to try and find information. But, ultimately, Elena, there's a lot of things that we have not pieced together even today. We were just trying to do the best we could and be thoughtful and not rush to judgment.
Is there something that you feel like now,
we, other than this civil accusation that was filed, we didn't have anything. There's not been a criminal case, so we were just going off of that, plus Matt's version of events, plus reaching out to various people that we have in law to try and find out the information. But again, it's an ongoing investigation, and so a lot of times we weren't given everything that's going on.
What
was Matt and his scam? How transparent was Matt? I mean, Matt gave us his version of events, and that's where it's at.
What would be the discrepancy between what you felt at the time on Thursday was a thorough examination versus what you've come to learn before releasing it?
Yeah, I mean, as thorough as we could be with what we were able to get our hands on. We probably should have said ongoing. It wasn't completed. Like, it's, Tim, we don't have a lot of things right now. We really don't. This is very serious. And as I said, he's a coach, I'm a GM. Like, we just decided that the most important thing is not about football. It's about letting Matt go handle this, and that's where it's at.
Brandon, my question is similar to Tim's in some ways, but what has changed in the last 48 hours that you've reached a different conclusion than the conclusion that you reached in July when you first learned of these allegations?
Jay, when you hear them, you're just trying to not rush to judgment, okay? You're trying to use as much time as you can to find out what you can find out. And that's the best I can tell you, is that we're not perfect, okay? We've tried to do everything. Like, in our society, you hear things, you try and go find out what's factual and what's an accusation. And that's the best we could do. Ultimately, we don't know. We're not detectives. We don't have the evidence. And there's many things that we could not get our hands on through the resources that we have. This was about not a football move, about letting Matt go handle this situation.
With that being said, what made you comfortable earlier this past week with moving on from Matt Hawk, understanding what you did to that point of what was potentially being accused of Matt Araiza?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a civil case. There was no criminal case. It was what we had was accusations that could come forward, and we were still piecing it together. Obviously, 48 hours ago or sometime around then, a civil case was filed, and we read through that and, again, circled back with Matt to try and again, it's a lot of things that right now we can't close the loop on.
So do you feel like Matt Araiza, do you feel like there was information that he withheld or information that he wasn't being forthcoming about? Like, I guess what I'm getting at is how much new information between when you first heard about this, when you first talked to Matt Araiza, and now, where's that gap? Like, how much more new information has there been?
I mean, there was more than what we originally got from Catherine from her conversation, and it was detailed out in that 11-page deal, but nothing changed from Matt's version of what he says transpired. But this, again, Heather, was back to this is bigger than football, and let's just step back and you go handle this. That's what we thought was most important.
Mute, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it for now, you guys. But there's probably about 30 more minutes left of that. It's on Buffalo Bills Facebook if you guys want to go watch the rest of that or watch it from the beginning. But you see where it's going, right? You see where the questions are leading, and
It's what we thought.
It's exactly what we thought. It seems like they didn't have the whole incident, reported or whatever. They only had, it was a he said, she said kind of thing from the beginning. And I think they were probably going to take Matt's word on it in the beginning. And I think once the incident report came out, once the civil suit came out, once the pictures came out, they had to do this. They had to. And like I said before, I told you, Mikey, this wasn't a Von Miller taking pictures things. This wasn't a DUI. This was a serious thing that you could tell the locker.
It's about as vile as it gets.
Yeah, and the locker room.
What he's accused of.
Yeah, the locker room was shaking. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a feeling that was gonna be that way. They're men. They have kids. They have daughters. They have wives. They have mothers. And I just knew this was gonna. And listen, I know it was preseason yesterday, Mikey. I get that, and I get that maybe the outcome would have been the same, but I kind of almost feel like it did have a little effect on the game. I'm gonna be real with you.
Well, McDermott said as much in his post game. He said, I haven't got much sleep recently, and I had other things on my mind.
Let's
just call it what it is.
Paul, as far as the Pegulas, I'm gonna be honest with you real quick on that. They're dealing with whatever they're dealing with Kim Pegula right now with the health thing. I know they probably, maybe Terry, the husband, could come out and say something, but I'll be honest with you right now, his mind's probably not.
They're letting Sean and Brandon lead this on behalf of the organization. I guarantee you, they're both in with the lawyers, and we're with Terry and Kim's, personal issues going on with them, the health stuff.
Exactly.
They're letting Brandon and Sean take the lead from an organizational standpoint, as they should.
Yeah, as they should. Exactly. Listen, I honestly feel like if that didn't happen with Kim Pegula, this might have. Listen, Matt Araiza might have been cut a month ago. I'll be honest with you. But I just think they have so much going on with her and her health concerns that, and this, I'm not saying, that would have happened for sure, but I think it might have happened earlier. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they would have allowed that. I think they would have stepped up maybe and told Brandon Bean, no, I think we should. And Brandon Bean would have ultimately had to listen. Obviously, that's his boss. But I'm just saying that's just me. I could be wrong on that. But no, they're not going to probably talk about this. They might issue a statement. I could see that. I could see a statement being issued out possibly Monday. But I don't think they're going to be on camera anytime soon. I think right now, like I said earlier, what's going on with Kim Pegula, they're not going to. There are no. Yeah.
Let's be honest, Tommy. If Kim was healthy, she would have been in front of it, because Kim's all about.
That's what I mean.
Right. About that. Exactly. She has been the face from the Bills ownership more than Terry has. Kim runs the team basically. So I guarantee you, Kim probably would have been sitting on, if she was healthy enough, she would probably have been sitting on the stage with Brandon and Sean with something like this.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said earlier, before you got here, I have a feeling there's going to be arrests made soon. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling all three will. I could be wrong, but I think it's leaning towards that. I think with how this gets when people get outraged and a lot of people start talking, that's when police and DAs usually start to step up. Even though you said in California, I know it's like one of those states where it's like the DA don't take cases if they're not. But this might be a little different.
It's got to be a slam dunk. It's got to be a slam dunk.
Right, but I think right now, though,
this is a high-profile one.
Yeah,
because it's a professional athlete.
That's what I'm saying.
They may get public pressure where they have to, but normally they don't like to, because unless they have the slam dunk, because they don't like to get egg on their face.
Right. That's what I mean. I think because of the public pressure, I think they're going to wind up making some arrest, and I think Brandon Bean maybe even realize that. You want a player on your team that's about to get arrested? You know what I mean? Like, no, on a serious accusations. So it was, listen, at the end of the day, we said this yesterday, it was the best move to make. We were calling it. When I did my initial video, I was just like you. I told you, I want to kind of hear both sides more. I want to see more evidence come in. But as that started happening, and then the Buffalo Bill side of things, the locker room, right? The distraction. Do we really need that? We're a week and a half away from football. Like, You know what I mean? Like, it was just too much, and it was. I think it was going to just really put the team in a bad place, bro. I'll be honest with you, and it's good to get rid of him now. They should have done it a month ago. I'll be honest with you.
I understand why they didn't. I understand why they didn't. They wanted to get more information. What they had been told and what the actual report said was probably very different. You know, and so they felt like I really think that's kind of. I mean,
but let me ask you. But let me ask you this about that. That is interesting that you say that, though. Now that I think about it, so a month ago, they knew, correct? Okay.
They knew that a civil case was going to be brought. They probably didn't have
right, but okay, right. But you're telling me that the police, having these details, wouldn't give the details up?
That's what Bean just said. They didn't have it. They got what they could.
All right. Well, see, now that's interesting. But I will say,
not really, not from a criminal investigation. They're not getting nothing out.
But but how serious do you get before, even though it's accusations? Do you still let it ride out until you get the complete report? You get what I'm saying? Like how serious can you get until you, like, if somebody
we don't know what they were told. I mean? They don't know what they were told originally when they said they got an update. Like, it could have been they got told that there was going to be a civil suit. They went to Matt. Matt explained what was going on from him and his agent. They reached out, tried to get more information, and they have been slowly but surely. And then they got the actual report when it got filed, and they read through it, and they're like, "Oh God, now we got to figure out what to do with this guy."
So question to you. Moving forward, do you think not only our team, but other NFL teams, if they have something like this happen again, let's just say hypothetically, do they do things differently?
I don't know. Really, I don't know, because I don't know what their process is and the backgrounds. I don't know what may have been missed. I guarantee you, if something was missed, then yes, I guarantee you they're going to close that gap, whatever that loop was that was missed. But not knowing what they do for background checks and things like that, who knows? You know,
I say they do. I say they don't want. I do think they switch things up a little bit in the future. I think if they have a serious accusation like this in the future, they probably will maybe not cut the player, but they'll do something where they're leave pay or something. You know, where he's still on the team, but he's not in the building.
You meant like that? Okay, you meant like that. Then yeah, I can agree with that. I think they'll send him home with pay while away from the team, while they're dealing with his civil or legal case or whatever the case may be.
Because let me ask you this, guys, and everyone in the chat. Hypothetically, let's say a month ago when the Buffalo Bills found this out, and let's say they did send him home. Let's say they said, you know what, we're not gonna say anything. We're just gonna send you home for now. Let's see how this plays out. What would have happened? People would have been speculating. Damn, why is he sick? Is he hurt? But when the story came out, I think Bills Mafia might have been more understanding of Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott than they are now. What's your thoughts? Like, if they were to send them home with pay for now, but away from the team until they found out more.
Maybe.
Once they found out and they made the cut like they did now, I don't think they would have got as much heat as they're getting now.
Yeah, okay, but
I'm just saying.
But let's be perfectly honest. They could have thought this was going to be a civil case like the Von Miller one at the very beginning. They didn't send Vaughn away.
But it's a different
Who knows what they were told?
Way different.
We know that now, but we don't know what they were told from the beginning.
I'm sure rape was told. I'm sure.
Maybe.
What do you think? I don't think it was.
Who knows? Because you have to remember, without it being filed, they can't give out that much information.
Okay, but they had to have some kind of information. What information do you think? What's the least amount of information? Right, like what? That he talked to a girl out of.
No, it was probably a civil case could be brought against Matt.
Okay, but you said
from college.
But they said they asked Matt what happened, correct?
Yeah.
So so what do you think Matt said? Hey, this girl, I just met this girl.
We're getting into hypotheticals.
No, it's not hypothetical.
You don't believe,
for sure.
You don't believe that?
No, I do believe.
You know this. You were in the room to know exactly what was said.
There's no way listen, Brandon Beane. There's no way Brandon Beane would say, "Okay, listen, Matt, I need your version of the story." And Matt said, "Hey, I went to a party, and I don't know, this girl's just suing me." Okay, cool, man, no problem. Have a good day, Matt. Like, no way. He's gonna dive deeper in that. I would have dived deeper in that.
So you think he told Brandon Beane that he's gonna be civil suit's gonna be a gang rape of an underage girl.
Or
Brandon Bean's
rape?
like, we're gonna go ahead and keep you on this roster until
I don't see that. I do.
don't.
So
I don't
okay,
see
so
that.
what do you think was said? Okay, so I know you weren't there.
I don't know what was said.
I get
can't
it, but
tell you. I don't think
so
about all the information until it came
wait
out.
a minute. So if you're the GM, hypothetically, let's say you're let's say I work for you, and obviously the story came out somehow for Brandon Bean to talk to Matt Araiza about it, right? To begin with, right? Hey man, I need you to come into office. I heard something, right? Brandon Bean had to find something out initially to talk to Matt.
They were told from what I read is they were told that there was going to be a civil suit against Matt.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically, I'm your you're the GM. Let's play that role. You're the GM. I'm on your team. You call me in your office. Hey, Tommy, what do you say? Go ahead, Tommy. What's happening with this?
Who am I?
You're the GM. You're Brandon Bean. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm probably saying something like, "Hey, I got word that there's gonna be a civil suit. What's going on here?"
Okay, and I say to you,
probably what his lawyer told him.
Okay,
I can't go into it.
I can't go into it. And it's just, I really have no comment. And you say, okay, cool, no problem.
No, I guarantee you that's not what was said. It was probably something along the lines of, we need to get more information about it. He probably told him whatever he could tell him legally that his lawyer allowed him to say and his agent allowed him to say, and they've started digging into it. If you listen to what Brandon Bean said, that matches up to what happened.
Well, no, because early on he did say it was the he said, she said thing initially before he got the incident report we got.
Anyways,
so
I don't give a shit either way. It's over now. He's gone.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. My whole point of that whole conversation was, in the future, I promise you, something as serious as this, not minor, not a DUI, not fucking sending nude pictures of your ex-girlfriend. I'm talking about something, a serious accident. I'm 100% sure they send a player home until they get the facts right, and then they cut him. Because if they would have done that from the beginning, I promise you, I almost guarantee it. But Bills Mafia, NFL, all these people talking, national media would have been like, the Bills did the right thing. They sent him home until they got the information, then they cut him. Right? I'm just saying. I in the future, I think they do that. On a serious accusation is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a civil suit, even if they don't have all the information, I'm just saying they had to have known it was something serious. They had to have.
Sure.
Because even the Von Miller thing was known right away. The pitcher thing, it came out, boom. They knew about it, but it wasn't so. But it wasn't so serious for them to send him home. It was the off season, right? It wasn't rape. You know what I mean? It wasn't murder.
Yeah, but when they were told that there was going to be some kind of filing a month ago, it wasn't like, okay, this is what's being filed. It was just there's a civil case against him.
I think
and who knows what they were told.
Yeah, I agree with you in somewhat, but I think and I also think they knew a little bit more than you're saying. Like, I think for sure they knew was rape involved. How about that? I just think I could be wrong, but who knows if that's, I'll be honest with you too. Who knows if Brandon Bean will ever say that? You know what I mean? Who knows? Well, no, when everything's done, he could. When all this is done.
But I doubt in a year or 2 years from now, when this case is finally done,
a story will be told. Sources will always become.
Yeah, but Brandon Bean's not going to rehash a kicker he had on the roster for 6 months.
He won't. But I'll tell you what will happen. Next year's draft, people will definitely want to.
I bet you we don't take any chances on any of those type of guys.
Wait a minute. This punter's been he's the best punter.
We're going to have next year's draft. It's going to be nothing but choir boys.
right. All Notre Dame guys. All right, guys. Anyways, I did not plan on coming here for an hour, bro. I was like 20 minutes.
I popped it.
You're good. Guys, everyone in the chat, man, damn, I appreciate you all coming in. I normally don't even come on on Saturday. So thank you, Mikey. Appreciate you for hopping on.
Yeah,
guys, we'll see you Monday at 9:00. Mafia Sports Report. Peace out. Go Bills, man.
Go Bills.